Every year, college football produces thousands of elite athletes, all fighting for a handful of spots on an NFL roster. It is a strictly mathematical grinder designed to weed out the weak. This funnel chart shows how steep that drop-off is. You start with over 73,000 NCAA players. About 250 get drafted. For undrafted free agents, the fraction that make a final roster is so small it barely registers on the graph. In the spring of 2002, Ryan Clark entered the league at the bottom of that funnel. He went completely undrafted out of LSU. He lacked the elite size scouts look for and carried exactly 0 draft pedigree. That meant no guaranteed contract and 0 job security. Every single day of training camp was an elimination round, where one bad read or missed tackle meant getting cut and sent home for good. Clark kept his roster spot by outthinking the competition. He studied the playbook until he knew every assignment on the field, proving that elite processing speed could beat the mathematical odds. He earned his initial spot with the New York Giants purely through relentless effort on practice squads. After putting in the grinding foundational work in New York and Washington, he built a reputation as a highly dependable defensive back. Then came the move to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He went from fighting for a roster spot on the fringe of the league to becoming the strategic anchor of a championship defense. This schematic shows exactly what made him so dangerous. Before the snap, a safety must read the offense. Clark would identify the formation, diagnose the play, and physically shift his defensive linemen and corners into perfect position to blow it up. Because Clark handled the strict communication and held down the deep coverage, his defensive partner, Troy Polamalu, had the absolute freedom to roam the field, take massive risks, and dismantle offenses. That mental preparation always ended with an explosive, full-speed tackle that punished any receiver entering his zone. His real-time processing transformed him into the strategic anchor of the secondary, providing the essential structure for one of the most dominant defenses in NFL history. All of that tactical discipline culminated in the ultimate professional milestone, shutting down the Arizona Cardinals to win Super Bowl XL43. But at the height of his career, a sudden invisible barrier emerged. It was a threat no amount of film study or weight room conditioning could overcome: the sickle cell trait. This cellular animation illustrates the severe biological reality of his condition. In high-altitude environments, reduced oxygen levels cause red blood cells to contort into a sickle shape. They cluster together, blocking vital blood flow to the organs and creating immediate, life-threatening health risks. Instead of letting this diagnosis force an early retirement, Clark attacked it with the same clinical discipline he used on the field. He adopted strict medical management protocols and made the calculated decision to sit out specific high-altitude games to protect his life. By confronting a severe health crisis out in the open, he became a profound, stoic veteran presence. He showed his teammates what true leadership looked like when football was no longer the most important thing on the line. He extended his career by methodically managing his biological limits, ensuring he could contribute at a championship level without compromising his survival. Eventually, every athlete hits the retirement cliff. It is a notoriously difficult phase where the physical career abruptly ends, and many struggle to find a new identity outside of the locker room. Clark completely bypassed that drop-off. He simply took the exact same tools that secured his spot as an undrafted rookie, his deep film study, clear communication, and commanding presence, and applied them to a new industry. He stepped out of the helmet and directly into a broadcast headset. Today, he breaks down the game on national television as one of the most respected NFL analysts and a prominent podcast host. This graph visualizes the financial impact of that pivot. While most athletes see a finite drop in income post-retirement, Clark leveraged his public speaking into expanding, diversified revenue streams, building a multi-million-dollar business portfolio. The insight he brings to millions of viewers every Sunday is driven by the exact same intellect he used to align a defensive front 15 years ago. Ryan Clark's legacy confirms that lasting success is an intellectual exercise. It is about out-preparing the competition, methodically managing your obstacles, and absolutely refusing to let your starting odds dictate your final chapter.